everyone, it's Kerri back for another video. I am so excited to be with you here today because it's been a couple weeks since I've recorded something. A lot's been going on in my personal life. It's so exciting, but what I realize is I haven't made any videos and I missed you all. So I wanted to talk about a topic that's been a little bit of a theme that I've been seeing lately. And really, just so you know, when I create videos or the content I deliver to you, all the topics are really themes that I've been seeing in the moment that I've been coaching on. And when I make the videos, I feel like it's significant enough. I want you to get the benefit of it as well. So, what I'm talking about today is the S word, and that S word is should. And just so you know, the issue with the word should is that it's a relevant term based on your opinion and experience. It has nothing to do with the higher perspective of what is going on in the situation. Now, there may be exceptions to this, but I'm sure you can also understand that when we apply the word should, it could be liberally applied to situations that it doesn't need to be there. We are all unique human beings. That means we have our own unique experiences. We have been raised a certain way. We have our own belief systems. We're all different. We're supposed to be different. If we were all the same, everyone would be really, really boring. And honestly, normal bores me, y'all. Let's try something a little different. And when I say should is a relevant term based on your opinion and experience, it's true. I teach this to people, but really all it is judgment. When you're applying should to things and you start shoulding all over yourself, all you're doing is judging somebody else for being different from you or taking a different path than you or having a different experience than you, or maybe they've messed up. They made a mistake and you tell them what they should have done. It's not going to help anything. They already made the mistake. It's on them to learn from it. You could help them learn from it, but if you start pointing the finger and saying you should have, it's not helping anything. It's not helping anything. I'm just going to let you know right now. It's not helping a thing to start shaking your finger and saying what they should have done. It's already passed. Meet them where they're at and then help them move forward if you really, really want to help somebody. So what happens is when you start to apply the word should, it's this form of seeing things in black and white, meaning if people do what you think they should do, then they're right. If they're doing what you don't think they should do, now they're wrong. Now, if you think about it in that context, you can see that it is all based in judgment, which is so low vibe. Really, judgment, there's no place for it, really. When we start judging people, it really says more about us than them. Everybody has their own journey, everybody has their own path, everybody has their own lessons to learn. So take a step back when you feel like you're going to start shooting all over yourself and think if it's actually going to help anything. Because chances are, if you start wagging your finger at somebody and saying, well, you should have done this, when it's after the fact, you're not helping anything. All you're doing is applying judgment, which is not going to help them solve their problem or move past it or learn from it. Think about it in that context. Like if you're really trying to help somebody, meet them where they are at now and actually help them through it without shoulding all over yourself. One thing I really do want to point out is when we start to apply should, if you think about it in the context that I've explained it to you, you can see where it can be very, very dangerous. You look at the political climate, there's a lot of people shoulding all over themselves and shaking their fingers, and it's creating separation. It is not bringing people together in love and unity. It's separating people more and more. Think about it. It can be very dangerous to apply should liberally or shoulding all over yourself. I'm going to keep saying this because I think it's really funny. And, when you start shoulding all over yourself, you're literally wasting your time. You're wasting your time telling yourself what you should have done, telling somebody else what they should have done. It's all judgment. Don't judge yourself. We talked about this before. No negative self-talk, because when we talk about ourselves in that context, attack ourselves, there's a ripple effect in every other aspect of our lives. Be gentle with yourself. Don't should all over yourself. Don't judge yourself. You are human. If you made a mistake, it's okay. Everybody does it. You pick yourself back up. You consciously take steps to move forward to the best of your absolute ability, and you won't regret it. Now, if you stay in a place where you keep shooting all over yourself, you're just going to stay down. You're going to stay low vibe. Woe is me. Nothing ever works for me. The whole, I don't even have to go into it with you. You know all about this. Instead, when you're in a situation when you feel like you're going to start shooting all over somebody or shooting all over yourself, take a step back. Really take a step back and assess the situation from a higher perspective. And if you've come across this, there's a situation, maybe you made a mistake, maybe you want to change a certain aspect of your life, or maybe you have some regrets, see what part you played. Nobody has received this well yet, but we all play a part in our circumstances. We are not victims of our circumstances. Everything is a reflection of us. So if you find yourself in a place that you start shooting on people, or people are shooting on you, take a step back and see what part you played and find the lesson in it. Once you learn the lesson, take the lesson and leave everything else. We come across situations, challenges, obstacles, and what we tend to do as human beings is hold on to the negative feelings, the anger, the regret, the coulda, woulda, shouldas, just the sadness and the fear of it. We tend to hold on to that. And we don't realize there's this beautiful lesson in there for us. So take the lesson, leave everything else. But understand that perspective is everything. So you can change your perspective from being, judgmental of yourself or feeling regret. Change the perspective and see the lesson in it. And it will empower you to move forward even stronger. And I also want to caveat that if you are shooting all over yourself and shooting on people, I want you to know that we can't expect people to know what we know. So many times, if you're shooting on somebody, you're almost implying, why don't you know what I know? Why don't you have the experience that I have? You should have known it. I know it. Why didn't you know it? Or this is my favorite. Well, you should have asked me. Well, I didn't know to ask you. There's no sign that says I should have come to said person for this situation in this circumstance. Don't say things like that. They're not helping anyone. So catch yourself. If you start shooting all over yourself, are you expecting this other person to know what you know, to have the same experiences, or do you expect them to be at the certain level at the certain time and getting frustrated because they're not there? Check yourself. You might be surprised that you may be playing a bigger part than you think. The whole point of this is that, and this is the way I live, I want to be part of the solution, not the problem. So when we're shooting all over ourselves and shooting all over others, we are part of the problem, not the solution. So take a step back and ask yourself, is what I am about to say going to help them or hurt them? Am I going to be part of the solution or part of the problem? You'll hear people do the shoulda, woulda, couldas. Should is judgment, could is regret, and would is fear. Keep that in mind. They're all low vibe. If you don't want to put yourself in those positions, do what you said you were going to do. Look fear right in the face and do what you are afraid to do. Don't put yourself in the position to regret, because it's one of the worst feelings you could ever have, because you can't redo it. And don't expect others to know what you know. Embrace people for who they are. Come from a place of love and support. Just please, please, please stop shooting all over yourself. And I tell you what else. After listening to this, you're going to hear somebody else do it. You're going to hear somebody do the shoulda, woulda, couldas. And remember that Kerri said, we don't do that anymore because it's so low vibe. It's so stuck in judgment. We don't do that anymore. Remember, the only limits you will ever experience are the ones you put on yourself. So open up. Get rid of the shoulda, woulda, couldas. Stop shooting all over yourself. Be part of the solution, not the problem. I hope this helps. Go ahead and put comments below. I will respond to you. I love hearing from you. And if you like this video, go ahead and like below. Please feel free to subscribe if you feel called. And until next time, much love. Mwah. Bye-bye.